Okay, it should be recording now. Okay, so
Yeah.
currently we're talking about Med's fucking wild teacher and his explanation of dreams.
Yeah. So fucking okay, I'm gonna start from the very beginning. So
It's probably a good idea to do. Also, I'm playing
yeah.
Mario Kart right now, so ignore my random swearing.
Okay,
Shit.
so basically my teacher, I remember one day I kind of just wanted to get some stuff off my back, and I remember he I just showed him one of my drawings,
like
and
a
he
like
said
a quadcopter.
that
Oh,
no, it
I
was
heard
actually
drones. I heard drones.
no, one of my
I
drawings.
genuinely heard drones.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but one of my drawings, which kind of
Drawings.
looks like
Okay.
looks like a Wendigo, you could say. The
Windigo. I
deer
need to
one.
look up what that is.
Yeah, like the deer one, not the zombie looking one. But he said that he recognized it in like almost full detail, and I kind of freaked out. And then he explained to me how this stuff works. So the thing is that he explained to me that everything that we see,
Alright, that's creepy as shit. Continue.
yeah, so that almost everything that we see is not illusions in a way. So only certain people can fully see these things, which are like entities from other dimensions or actual like spirits that can pass on. So the thing is that he said that in our dreams, when we can fully remember them, that
Fuck.
we go into other dimensions in a way. So it's either we actually are taking somebody over, or we're actually like being one of these entities in a way. So in a way, we are the monsters that we see almost. Well, it also matters on how we act in our dimension, which is if we act bad, then we're gonna look like a monster in a way. So if anything,
So, like, during your daily life, someone else and like another thing in another dimension could be seeing your life.
yes,
So
exactly.
that's crazy because like literally, I'm just sitting here playing Mario Kart, and something in another dimension could be watching me play Mario Kart right now.
Yes, exactly. Anything and everything almost can happen in a way. So
Which
somebody could be
that's
watching
just
you.
crazy to think about because you could be doing anything, and something
Anything.
could be watching what you're doing through your eyes, right?
Yes, in a way. Or they could be taking control of you.
Okay,
Which
that's crazy.
yeah.
That I don't like that.
Yeah. So, sometimes you can actually, I didn't talk about this to you. Sometimes you can see the future or you can see in the past in a way, which is,
Yeah, because I've had multiple dreams where I've seen the future because years ago when I was back in elementary school,
yeah.
I went to two different elementary schools, but it was the same school. We just had two different buildings because the first building it grew a lot of mold, and so they had to build a new one. But before they built the new one, I had this dream that I was this like ball of light, and I was
Hmm.
flying through this construction site of what looked like what was going to be a new school. And
Yeah.
then years later, it's that exact school being built.
Yeah.
And
The thing,
this next one isn't as big as that one, but one summer when my cousins from Arkansas were down, we
hmm
were gonna go to the aquarium, and I was sleeping on the couch because back then I didn't like sleeping in my room because I was a little baby bitch, and I was
hmm
sleeping on the couch, and I had this dream. In the dream, I woke up and I asked my mom, "Hey, aren't we going to the aquarium today?" And then I woke up and said, "Hey, mom, aren't we going to the aquarium today?"
yeah. The thing about
So
those,
like that's just wild to me.
yeah, the thing about going in the past, I don't mean in like your past, I mean in like someone else's past. Like, for instance, I had a dream where I was a plague doctor, and I was like in maybe like,
That's wild.
yeah, like in West Europe, probably, which is I don't know. I don't really remember, but a lot of it was pretty crazy. As I remember, like the last few things was that I was putting jars of like, well, like toads in jars, and like I was like putting leeches on like this guy, and I was like cutting him so that I could bleed for some reason. I don't
Hmm.
really exactly remember a lot, but I remember like how I would put these herbs inside my mask and all that stuff, and I like tucked in a lot of like my garbs and stuff, probably not to get infected.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
The bubonic plague was crazy too because like someone in, let's say like someone in a house with a bunch of people in that house got infected with it. Those people
yeah,
in the house also had to be treated for it, and so it just keeps spreading and spreading. Because and
yeah,
like you couldn't control the spread, so the fact that it even managed to disappear is crazy. It must have
yeah,
taken so much work.
yeah. Just I also remember like waxing my garb as well. My garbs, I mean,
Yeah.
which was pretty weird. I don't exactly remember why, but yeah, a lot of it
If
was
if
either
we
in
if
like
we look it up, if we look up plague
oh.
doctors waxing their guards, we can probably find a reason. Let me do that.
to look up like why I would put toads around people like in jars. There might actually be a reason. That'd be kind of freaky though if that was like all real. Oh boy. But like about that though is like I felt like that was like a norm for me. Like I knew what I was doing. So in a way I was kind of like I I was kind of
Considered an
taking
early form of hazmat suit, a plague doctor clothing. It extended to the feet and was often coated head to toe in suet or wax.
so oh,
So that that makes you believe even more that it could generally well be somebody's actual past
wait, let me
because
look. Yeah.
that could have actually happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up the whole leeches, toads, and cutting thing. Well, wait.
So like that my mind is just blown that this very well could possibly be a real thing. That's crazy.
Yeah. um, let's see. Okay, how did plague doctors treat their patients? Wait, that doesn't tell me a lot. That just, oh, um, oh yeah, they put, okay, plague doctors practice bloodletting and other r- remedic remedics such as putting frogs or leeches on the goobers to
Okay.
balance humor as a normal routine. The plague doctors could not generally intact the general pub. Okay, that.
Okay.
Um,
So, oh, but like,
oh,
so you didn't so have you ever like studied the bubonic plague before?
not really,
So
not at all.
I I I was mostly a
So
believer
what
that
happened?
okay, fuck off. So I mostly believe that fucking dreams are based of on by the way, Jasmine, we're currently recording right
Yeah.
now and I'm probably going to upload this as like a possible first episode of a podcast.
Oh, okay.
And
Sorry.
so I always believed that dreams were like something stuff that you've already experienced but more of your imagination because I read this explanation that you can't die in a dream because your
You
brain
can.
has no information about life after death.
Oh,
Yeah, the thing about that is that it's very wrong. As I've died multiple times in a dream, actually.
I've never.
also don't mind the background noises because
Jasmine,
I'm
fuck off.
volunteering at my Catholic
Yeah.
school.
Just stay muted.
The thing is that oh wait.
But like, see, what I suggested could very well be true, but at the same time, what you're talking about could also be true. You know?
Well, amen.
Med?
Okay, I'm
Okay,
back.
you're back. All right, cool.
Yeah, sorry. Well, the thing is that actually in that weird soma-like dream or whatever, I pretty much let a giant fish worm thing crush me.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, it was more like a sea dragon in a way, like and it kind of looked like the sea dragon from
Subnautica?
Subnautica.
Huh.
Yeah, like it kind of looked like that, but not fully. It was huge though. Like it was one of the things that ate one of the people that I was like running from, which looked like a very bloated person.
Yeah.
Like
Are you talking about a sea serpent? Or they're not. They're called sea serpents.
no, they're sea dragons. um.
Ah.
Anyway, um, the thing is that you I'm gonna talk about death in a way. So he said to me when I asked him a lot of questions. I also talk about pocket dimensions here, but he told me that if you are a bad person in one dimension, right, you will devolve and you'll turn into an animal. So what was it called? God, that one there's this one movie, Spirited Away. Yeah, Spirited Away. You know how like the parents turn into pigs in a way.
No, I've never seen it.
Oh well, hopefully the viewers know what I'm talking about, but it's basically kind of like that, where you devolve into an animal. But if you do good in a way, you keep on going into other dimensions in a way. So the more and more you do good in these dimensions, you almost will become a superhuman or a god in a way.
Hmm.
So yeah. So if anything, maybe these gods like maybe will actually like God and like Catholic belief, right? Am I saying it right? I don't exactly know.
Yeah. You're saying it right.
Yeah. So that might actually be a person who did a lot of good in a way, but I
Yeah.
also don't know. That's just my guess.
Yeah.
But the thing is that also a lot of other people could be going into these dreams. Like me, when I was going in that Soma dream, I remember that Antarctica was melted, so pretty much the whole world was covered in water. I'm using the Soma dream as that's the only way I can exactly explain it with it making some sense. Um, as I was actually a robot in a way, like how you are in that game. Anyway,
Damn, this is really trippy. Now that I'm
yeah,
thinking
Yeah,
about it.
we had a lot more discussion before I started recording, but it's still it is very trippy.
yeah. But the thing is that Mr. Alexander told me that that's my science teacher.
Whoa, your microphone's making a
So,
lot of noise.
oh, um,
Okay, it's good.
yeah. So he pretty much told me that he was like I think Asia or something around there, where a volcano was erupting and Antarctica was starting to melt. So past, he could have been in like the past of where I was, and I was in the future. So that's a little interesting. Um, and also the pocket dimension thing. So if you have enough mental energy, which a lot of people do not have when they see this kind of stuff.
Hey, your mic is fucking up a lot.
Oh wait, let me do something first.
Just gonna wait for him to do whatever he's doing. Shit. By the way, Jasmine, I'm playing Mario Kart, so
I can't hear you because of all this fucking sound in my fucking Catholic church.
Is it still going?
I don't hear it anymore. It should be fixed.
Oh, hey. Okay,
Yeah.
well, it's kind of quiet now. I'm just gonna go into I'm just gonna go into a closet right now.
Okay.
Why is the closet locked? Fuck. Okay.
I um
Okay, this closet will do.
I'm gonna turn down you show because you're
Okay.
really loud.
Yeah, because I'm in my Catholic church.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was in
Oh god, it's happening again.
oh god, oh god, oh god.
Just gonna wait for him to fix this mic, and we'll continue.
Okay, dokie.
Shit!
Okay, I'm back.
All right. Okay.
Hopefully it's all right. Well, I was in the thing. This is like a little thing that just happened. You know what? I'll save this for the end actually. Okay. Whew. Um, I was talking about pocket dimensions. Okay, so he pretty much told me that you have to have enough mental energy to make yourself a pocket dimension, and that's all he said, which is a little weird, a little crazy. That
Um. Well, you said that's all he said, and I was gonna ask, like, what do you mean?
yeah, it just he kind of stopped there. He didn't like he seemed like he was very hesitant to tell me certain things though, as I would ask certain things because I didn't understand a lot of this. But yeah, anyway, he I also asked one thing that actually could be very possible for a lot of people, including you, Flame.
Hmm.
That in other dimensions you can have a person or a dimensional twin where you're linked to them. So that's to
What?
say, like for me, actually, it's one of my characters from my drawings, which his name is Keen, which
Huh.
is a wolf character, which is actually an animatronic. So the thing is that I don't like people they're calling my game a FNAF fan game, as these characters have been with me for a while. As I used to keep these characters as like a mental point where I would put a specific emotion on them.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks. But when I realized that maybe these characters are actually in other dimensions, it kind of made me feel these
So
shouldn't be
that
called
that makes me think that what if every game that exists that was made by someone is
actually could have been real.
something in their own dimension, like their own pocket dimension with their own characters or whatever.
Yeah,
That is actually really trippy. Like,
yeah,
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 it
like,
is.
but yeah, but it could actually be true. I mean, there's actually proof that.
Because
I
like
mean, I don't know,
there's no way to prove that.
there's no way to prove that
Science
anything
has not
exists.
created any way to prove that yet.
Yeah,
There's that's like
it's kind of
that's why I don't like believing stuff like that because there's no way to prove it.
yeah.
I mean, not
It
Whoever,
could
yet.
very well be very true, but there's no way to prove it.
yeah, and the thing is that only like certain people can like deal with this stuff. You can be like a
Yeah.
half person, which you might be, Flame, actually, where you can see certain things, but not fully in a way. But
Yeah, he's talking about because I earlier before I started recording, he saw this. You want to tell the story about the metal box again, real quick?
oh yeah,
Oh
this
yeah,
is
yeah. All right,
so the metal box thing. So I remember it was like yesterday on we were doing like a community meeting
This
and
was yesterday.
yeah, this was yesterday.
That part you didn't tell me.
Oh, I thought I did. Maybe I cut out. I don't know.
I don't know. You
um
didn't tell me when it was. You just said that it was a
yeah. Oh,
meeting.
I thought I said it was yesterday.
No,
Oh
yeah.
well, did I even say the
Wait,
date?
No,
you
you
guys know about
didn't.
the whole. You guys know about the whole Doctor Who might be real thing, right? Like, there's actual proof or something like that. Like, maybe that could actually be a thing.
The Doctor Who thing?
Yeah, because
Um,
there's like because what's strange is that there's this statue in Europe that looks exactly like the actors from like one of the actors that played the Doctor. You know.
that could be a possibility, but at the
Yeah,
same time,
yeah, but then there's another thing. There's a gravestone that was dated back to the 1800s, and the gravestone just says the Doctor. Isn't that weird?
that
I
I
don't
don't know.
know. Uh,
It seems a little iffy.
it seems a
Like,
little weird. We can touch on that later, but
yeah,
for now,
because I was actually I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk about how. Actually, no, I'll do
let's
that later as well.
let's
So
tell that metal box story.
okay, so the metal box story is like I was in yesterday. Everyone had to go into the middle of the pod, as we had like two pods, one on the bottom, one on the top, so on the bottom one. So everyone is sitting in like this in like a box, and we have like a stairs that goes like that's in like the far back, but just enough room for something big to be moved down there. So what happened is that I'm just hearing like metal banging from upstairs, like something's moving and is very heavy, just like banging, and it slowly just keeps on getting louder and louder. And when the community
Yeah,
meeting
yeah.
ends,
Yeah, that sounds pretty freaking fucking
yeah.
creepy.
No,
So
it gets way more creepier.
yeah, so and then like near the end of the whole community meeting where it was talking about tuberculosis because I guess there's an outbreak now, but it isn't that bad actually. So anyway, near the end of it, I see this giant metal box going down the stairs, and it's heavy, and it's making a lot of
But like, when you
noises.
say see, do you mean like you fully saw this with your eyes open and everything?
Yeah, it's like my eyes were fully open and everything, and I was wide awake. I was wide awake, and I know it. So I
And
just
like,
saw
was
this.
this like, was it opaque, translucent?
It was like a full-on object.
It was
It
like,
was like
it was like
real.
if you could like go up and touch it, if you even could.
Like if it wasn't from like I was saying, if it wasn't from another dimension, I could have touched it.
All right.
I could have
Okay.
like
Yeah, but
actually
yeah,
like
but
So
what if
yeah,
it was like a
that's
rift?
what I originally thought.
But-
All right.
It
Yeah.
could have just been a rift or something. Like think about that. We're
um,
not-
Just
we're not
tell the
talking about
story.
that.
okay. So the thing is that I'm just seeing it like go down, and the thing that I actually forgot to mention was it looked like it was just like welded pieces of scrap just put it onto it. Like there was like different colored pieces of metal on it. Anyway, it's like going down the stairs, and I don't know how. Maybe it's like on wheels or something or whatever, and it's making like this loud moaning noise that
Please
is
do
like.
not make the noise again.
I really want to, because I want to like.
Fucking. All right, do it.
Okay, it sounded like
Shut the fuck up.
like that. It sounded like that.
Quick story. My mom says that my dad does that in his sleep. She told
Yeah.
me. She told me that he just does that in his sleep sometimes, and I've heard that before. I've heard him do it.
Okay.
It was really late. And I was walking out of my room to go get a drink. Shit. Oh, I'm sorry, Mario Kart. I was walking out of my. It was really low. I was walking out of my room to go get a drink, and from their room, I just hear.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well-
what the hell is that? So I knock on my sister's door, and I tell her, I'm like, she comes out. I'm like, do you hear that? And she goes, yeah, but I don't know what it could be. I should probably tell her that. Oh, I should. Okay, after this, I'm gonna tell her that what my mom told me. All right, continue.
Okay, so I just kind of see it like go down the stairs, making that noise. It's really loud and it's very deep, and like it felt like if everyone heard that and saw that, they would be screaming for their lives. But anyway, its head was on like two pipes connected together.
What do
Almost
you
like
mean by head?
it looked like it was like I don't know. That's like the easiest way I can explain it in a way, as like it looked like it was its head in a way with quotations. Anyway, like the neck was like two pipes connected together, and it looked kind of like it could move it, but I don't really know. But it had like this metal
Did
box.
it look like it
on
was
top,
alive, like type of head?
kinda,
Okay, that's Jesus Christ.
but it isn't the worst. thing that I've
I do
seen.
not want to imagine that. To be honest, that sounds pretty fucking creepy.
There's no way that it could make that moaning noise, though. That would have to be very robotic, but it was very like alive.
Well, okay. Well, this is something I thought. I still think there are alternate dimensions in a way, because
That's
know-
what I'm saying.
yeah, like about the whole the
But
guy who
Jasmine,
who said
that you need to wait till the end of the story to say that because it gets fucking crazier.
So
Right, okay.
I see it go. I see it like it's like heading towards the pod doors. There's somebody right there in front of the doors, and the doors are closed. And when it gets close to it, he just walks right through the door and through the person, like it didn't even exist.
That's what creeps me out so fucking much. Because that just doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen.
well,
Like
Especially
something
when it's
very
okay.
special has to be happening for you to see that with your own eyes.
You gotta be like on
well,
drugs.
guys.
Yes, because when you're first telling me this story, I genuinely thought I was gonna say drugs.
Yeah, that's what you said. I was like, no,
Did
never
I say
touched
that?
them.
I probably did.
Yeah, you did. And I was like, no, never have.
Well, I'm just gonna take an example from like Spider Verse, but like, um, you know about the whole multiverse thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
have you seen the movie? There's like a bunch of multiverse things going on with dimensions colliding.
I haven't seen
What
the
if
movie yet.
that's okay? Well, what if that's what's happening right
The
now?
thing about that is, I think everyone will be seeing that, and that probably might be the end of all ends if that could happen.
Yeah, but
And
yeah, but
that's what I'm scared of because I'm going to talk about Norse mythology a little bit. I'm scared of Ragnarok coming. As yes, I know.
the Fortnite
For the
skin.
for the people,
Okay,
no,
fuck off.
I'm being serious when I say
We're
this.
being serious.
Okay,
Yes,
all right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
when I say Ragnarok, yes, I know that it already happened. That's the only reason why we exist for those people that know that kind of stuff. I'm scared of another one if
Well,
that really
but this
happens.
is what I think. Like, think about. I'm just since I'm
You know
Catholic.
what Ragnarok actually what happens?
No, I
Ragnarok,
don't. I didn't. I don't
okay,
know.
No.
because the thing about Ragnarok is that the two things can happen is that the first thing that happens that is somewhat the beginning of Ragnarok is when Fimbulwinter starts, which is the span of 3 springs, which I think is 3 years in a way. I believe so. I could be wrong. Um, so that happens. When that ends, Ragnarok happens, which is like the clash of gods and all this other stuff, I believe. And one of the things that really is very big that a lot of people, I hope so, know that Thor and Jormungandr fight where
This is, by the
Thor.
way, this is not like Marvel Thor. This
No,
is
this is
Norse
like
god
actual.
Thor.
Yeah, this is like one with Rock and Sindri where they made his hammer and stuff, not the whole. Ooh, look at me, big dwarf man. Me make hammer with my
Yeah,
stubs.
no, this isn't. This isn't fucking. What's his name?
I don't know.
What's the name of the actor for Thor? It's
Mm,
Chris something. Whatever. But this isn't. This is not like that type of Marvel. I mean,
yeah, no.
Thor. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
Yeah, same with Loki. Like Loki's something totally different in the Norse mythology, as he hates the gods. That's
Well,
why he.
what if all religions are actually connected with each other and they kind of represent a dimension or something like that? Like, what if
Mm,
this is like the main dimension and the other dimensions are trying to, collide
I
or
don't
something
think
again?
that could be very possible. That might
I mean,
mean
I
that
Because
mean,
there's
I mean,
okay,
and
let's say that there is a dimension that is the main dimension. I don't think it would be. I mean, it could be us, but
I don't.
there's such
That
a
can't
slim
happen.
chance because there can be like an infinite many number of dimensions.
There's
yeah,
multiple. There's
but
like
There's
think
thousands,
about,
because there's
hundreds,
so
billions.
many. There's a very small chance that it is us.
Because no matter what, we are in a way like the universe. We are a small speckle in the sky.
but
You
Yeah,
then
can't argue
again, but
because
then again,
the universe is infinitely big.
and
We
if anything,
because we don't have the technology to get out there yet. We can't know whether or not there is an end to the universe where everything just cuts off. We can't tell. There's no way of knowing.
probably the
there's
void.
never a way to know.
Yeah, and there probably will never be a way to know.
Yeah.
But then again, think about it. Like people are always arguing how old the Earth is, whether it's 1,000 years old or just millions. What if it was a million years old?
Oh well,
Even think about that.
of course, there's there's no really real reason to argue about that. I thought you were gonna
Yeah,
talk
but
about how like people argue about whether the Earth is flat or not because it's very obviously round.
yeah, but then again, no, but I'm just saying like how old the Earth really is. Like what if the whole 1,000 years thing is just a fake and the million years thing probably is true.
Okay. You
I
guys
mean,
gotta. You guys gotta calm down.
it's very likely that the Earth is very old.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
why
I
wouldn't
I
it
can't
be?
answer that. I can't answer that. I don't know that.
but that's not what we're talking about. So continue on the Norse god thing.
Yeah. So the thing is that I've seen a lot of. I have a lot of.
You were explaining
dreams.
what Ragnarok is.
Oh yeah, Ragnarok. So Thor kills Jormungandr, which is the world serpent. Which, well, I think it's very self-explanatory, but I will explain it. The world serpent is a giant serpent, and it's said that he can wrap around Midgard, which is Earth for us, and bite his own tail. So yeah. Anyway,
That kind of sounds like a Japanese legend I've heard. Like it's
that's
yeah.
that's Jormungandr.
Is it? No, because I heard a tale something about Japanese, where basically there's a snake that would always keep on eating its own tail
You
or
know,
something like that.
Jormungandr though he's a dormant giant, which was birthed by Loki. Loki is the mother or father, as you
Oh,
say.
isn't Loki like chaotic, like the god of chaos or something?
Loki, that
It's the god of
Loki,
mischief, right?
yeah, the god of mischief. Loki though isn't exactly a guy fully. That's why he's able to birth things like Jormungandr, which would be painful personally to think about. Anyway, he also birthed the giant wolf, which I will talk about that.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so the thing is that Thor and Jormungandr both die. Thor kills Jormungandr. Jormungandr kills Thor because of his venom. So yeah, pretty crazy.
Hold on. Okay, well, this might be ridiculous, but like, I'm just gonna say, what, wait, hold on.
Um,
This is why you don't join a podcast conversation while you're not at home.
yeah, especially when it's like something that I take very seriously.
Yeah, because
Because it's like, if you can't tell, I'm getting a little bit annoyed as I want to explain things a little bit more. Because I'm kind of losing things.
Yeah. I'm
there's
sorry.
just so much
So,
to talk
so basically,
about.
I'm just gonna jump to Fortnite real quick. Like, but
Yeah.
listen to me. What if Fortnite is actually I'm telling the tale of the, the
I
mythology that you were just thinking about. I mean, think
I
about
don't
it.
really think that's plausible, as that would be a
But
lot
just there,
more than that. Because the whole, okay, it's winter time, let's make it that's not, no, totally something stupid.
I'm just saying. I'm just thinking because there is a lot of Nord,
Well, that
mythology
that
references to
well
some of
that's
the
it's
cosmetics.
because
So
fucking
in
Norse
the game.
mythology is fucking
Yeah.
Norse mythology is fucking cool. Who wouldn't want to
Yeah.
fucking put it in their game? I wouldn't think it was an actual story though, because
Yeah,
they're
but
missing a lot of details. Because that means a giant wolf would be roaming around the map. A giant snake would be wrapping itself around the map.
well, actually,
So,
snakes have been teased a few times. I'm not sure
but
about the wolf thing.
a giant snake, I
Yeah,
mean, that
yeah.
like breaks through the map, probably shatters everything in its path. That's what I'm saying.
Probably.
Jormungandr is big and damaging.
How do you spell that?
Anyway,
What's about the
Jormungandr?
wolf thing?
Oh, Finir?
How do you spell Jormungandr?
Fucking, I don't know. I'm not exactly.
Sound it out.
Fucking, no, that's not. You can't
I
fucking.
found it. I think I found
Jormungandr.
it. It's spelled with the O has two dots over it. I don't know what that's called. It's Jormungandr.
Yeah.
And the pictures that I'm seeing of this is a very large snake.
Yeah. Jormungandr is fucking terrifying.
He's in Smite apparently.
Oh yeah. Wait, really? Jormungandr's in Smite?
Yes. I'll send you this picture.
Oh well, I play Smite. I never seen him.
I can't show the fucking recording this.
Oh wait, let me fucking get up.
But here, there's the picture.
Oh. I don't think he's like an actual. I don't know if he's an actual playable character though.
I don't think he is either. I was just saying that he's somewhat in Smite.
Yeah, because they have. Yeah, I might be also saying that wrong, mind you. But Yeah, the thing is that I have some dreams of seeing Jormungandr completely destroy Earth and eat it in a way, or eat parts of it. And I've also seen Fenrir wreck Earth in a way, like destroy
What's
it.
Famir?
So Fenrir is the giant wolf.
Let me try to find that as well.
Well,
Say it.
it's
Say it.
Fenrir. It's Fenrir.
Fenrir.
Whenever you talk
Oh.
about the wolf, I keep on thinking about the wolf from the Legend of Zelda games. To
Okay,
be
yeah, that
honest.
is a large wolf. Okay.
You know, the thing about him is that he has a chain wrapped around him, and when that chain breaks, I believe he attacks the gods, as the gods are actually scared of him. The Norse ones, probably all the other gods, if he really was able to go into the other realms in a way.
You see, when you say gods, like I don't know how I feel because I'm Christian and I've been raised to believe that
Yeah.
there's one true God.
Yeah,
Or maybe just one true god in this dimension.
I believe, Fenrir is actually Thor Ragnarok. I believe he's the giant wolf. I believe. Well, I also could be wrong. I don't really remember. Um. Anyway, I'm very scared to look out the window to see that kind of stuff, or just see
Okay,
anything.
yeah. See, that's what this whole discussion is about because earlier Med said that when it's snowing, he is scared to look out the window and see something because he
Yeah.
believes in Norse mythology. And
There's
so
so
we
many.
started talking. I started asking him about, okay, what do you think? And so that's why
Yeah.
we're talking about this in the first place. And I randomly thought, hey, I've been wanting to start a podcast. This might be a good discussion for the first episode.
Yeah.
But then again, there's nothing to say that we'll be able to talk about anything else.
Yeah. The thing is
Have
that
another
this is
episode.
also. Yeah.
This could be its
This-
own random video that I'll upload, and then it'll just be its own video. Or
Yeah.
we could find other topics to talk about and have their own other videos.
Yeah. The thing
I
about
honestly don't like talking about this stuff because I feel like someone's gonna hunt us down if we talk.
See,
more.
that's
Yeah.
how I felt about thinking about X's death because I thought maybe he faked his death or maybe he planned his death because of all the stuff that I found about how if you look at the
People
video of
say-
him in his car,
Yeah,
you don't see any blood or
people-
bullet holes.
Yeah.
If you listen to Sad backwards, you hear him predicting his death. So
I
Yeah.
mean, don't you think it's ironic how he live streamed an hour before he died?
I don't know.
Because because if you he did live stream before he died, so
Yeah.
and the
thing is that I'm not gonna worry about that kind of stuff because I know that I have actually protectors which are scary, and
but then again,
I have drawings. You guys want to see them?
no,
no, not really.
maybe
But-
later.
Okay, but I'll put their names down because they are very important for these stories. So the Wendigo character that I was talking about,
I looked
Yeah.
it up. Yeah, that's scary as shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I don't like that. I don't like that.
his name is Thorn.
I feel
So
something idea just popped into my head that saying their names causes shit.
Thorn. If you hear a deep voice asking you certain
Stop.
things, you
Stop.
might want to be scared.
Stop.
But I can.
I still think like the Illuminati or some shit. Like try and hunt people down who keep on,
Thorn.
like, asking questions and shit.
Thorn is a very special character. He doesn't care if you know about him. He might be a little pissed off, but he won't hurt you.
Okay.
The thing is that
it's getting late, and the shit's starting to scare me. So how about we stop here
and talk about it
and
tomorrow.
we continue it another time.
Oh man, I was
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
some good parts about Thorn and Watcher. Those two are.
Well, that gives anybody who's listening to this a reason to look forward to the next episode.
Okay, well, now I'm actually scared because I just heard.
I am
sadness.
too. I didn't hear anything, but I'm just scared too. So
Did
I'm
no one
gonna-
hear the static sound? No one
if
hear
you-
the static
No.
sound. Like
I mean, your
tiny
mic is
little
ass. So
Yeah, well, your Mac was kind of being weird, but here.
But you know about the whole Shane Dawson conspiracy thing about your phones and how people might be listening and shit, right?
I mean,
Oh,
obviously,
And
you do know that like stuff like Amazon Echoes, the FBI will listen into it because there was an act passed that the government can watch your actions in case you are planning to do something that's a threat to the country, so that they can stop it.
they,
There you could be doing like small things, like someone underage watching porn or whatever. They're not gonna do anything about that
yeah, but
because it's such a
Discord
small
actually
thing.
records
But there's stuff that, like, if somebody audibly says that they are planning to do something a terrorist would do, that's when they
Yeah.
do something about it.
Yeah, but then again, Discord has everything we do or say recorded, and there's no privacy. Like, this is why the FBI is investigating Discord right now.
yeah, man. To be
Okay.
honest with you,
Let's
And not to mention
let's
Shane
let's
Dawson
wrap it up
did,
here,
like,
and we'll continue the talk about this next
I
time.
was gonna talk
Alright.
about Thorn.
Alright, I'm gonna
We'll
have a
talk
very
about it
full
next
sleep.
time.
Okay, I
I'm
really
gonna
like
wake up with a
talking
slit in
about
my
this
throat.
stuff. No, Thorn. You might see Thorn though.
Stop! All right, we're stopping now. We're stopping now. I'm gonna click the stop recording. All right. Thank you for if you listen to this all the way through. Thanks. Cool. There's
Yeah.
probably if we remember to, there's gonna be another part. Bye bye.
God damn it! No.
Goodbye.
I want, but wait. One more thing to say. If anyone
Oh,
just call him a rose.
Hold on, your mic cut out. Your mic cut out. What?
If any of you guys see Thorn, call him a rose.
they're trying to silence Med. They're trying to silence
No.
Med.
Med's gonna
No.
die. Med's gonna fucking die. Okay. Bye. Bye now.
No. God damn it.